Welcome to the IAPE Forum entitled Leaving No One Behind, Planning for Inclusion of Displaced Populations in the Education Sector. I am Suzanne Grant-Lewis, the Director of UNESCO's International Institute for Educational Planning. IAP supports governments around the world to develop their capacities to plan and manage their education systems. Given the increasing number of disasters and conflicts in recent decades, it's imperative that ministries of education are able to plan and effectively prepare their education systems for crises. Crisis-sensitive planning can help ministries mitigate the negative impacts of crises, including crises that lead to forced displacement. Crisis-sensitive planning also helps ministries uphold governments' international commitments to provide quality education for all. With this e-forum, we aim to shed light on how governments and their partners can better plan for the provision of quality education for displaced populations. As you are all aware, we are now witnessing the highest level of displacement on record. At the end of 2015, 65.3 million people had been forcibly displaced, the highest number of displaced persons globally since the end of the Second World War. Measured against the world's population of 7.4 billion, that means that 1 in every 113 people is now either a refugee or asylum seeker or an internally displaced person. But this is only part of the picture. Over half of the world's displaced people are children. This means that 1 in every 45 children are displaced. Many of these children and youth are unable to access quality education or have fallen behind in their scholastic progression. According to UNHCR's published figures, only 1 in 2 refugee children are enrolled in primary school, and only 1 in 4 are in secondary school. If we look beyond basic education, we find that only 1 in every 100 refugees accesses higher education or skills-based education. IAP is working with its partners on this e-forum: UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency; GPE, the Global Partnership for Education; and the Education Above All Foundation. Together, we believe that addressing the education needs of displaced populations is a global responsibility. We simply cannot afford to neglect the education needs of these populations. This would compromise the future of entire generations and would deny countries, and indeed the entire world, the opportunity to tap their great potential. The current global commitment to education in crisis and for refugees is encouraging. However, there is still a long way to go to ensure equitable access to quality education for all internally displaced and refugee children and youth, from the onset of an emergency and into long-term development. This e-forum aims to help ministries of education ensure this access. Over the next 2 weeks, you will have a unique opportunity to engage with Ministry of Education staff from countries all over the world, along with practitioners and education experts from UNESCO IAP, UNHCR, the Global Partnership for Education, Education Above All, and other organizations to discuss challenges and strategies for integrating displaced populations into education sector planning. This e-forum discussion revolves around the themes of access, quality, and management. Each theme will be discussed over 4 days. The first theme of this e-forum addresses issues related to access to education for displaced children and youth. In particular, we will explore 2 topics that affect government's ability to plan for and manage access to education for these populations. These 2 things are legal frameworks and institutional arrangements and coordination. The second theme, quality, will focus on 2 topics related to delivering quality education for displaced children and youth. the teaching force, and curriculum. More specifically, the discussion on quality education for displaced populations will look at how governments can plan for who will teach displaced populations and how to plan which curriculum will be used. The third theme, management, will be divided into two topics: data and monitoring and evaluation, and cost and financing. We will explore the challenges and strategies for planning and costing out educational needs, given the difficulties around collecting and projecting reliable data for displaced populations. We look forward to learning from your experiences on all of these topics and hope that the results from the discussions during this e-forum will help inform global and country-level debates on education planning for refugees and internally displaced people. In this way, we hope to collectively get closer to our goal: ensuring quality education for all, regardless of whether a child or young person lives in a refugee camp or an IDP camp, waits for repatriation to his or her home country, or has been welcomed into a host community. I look forward to our exchanges during the next 2 weeks.